Okay, in this video, I'm going to show how I created an approval flow to approve leaves in Power Automate and Power Apps. So I have this Power App here that I've created, which I can apply leaves from. So if you click into the apply leaves, there is a form here, and the user will be able to choose the start date and end date, and you automatically count the number of days, and then they can submit. So when they click this submit, it will run a Power Automate flow, which is called create and approve annual leave. So this is a Power Automate flow, you can see here as well. So I have linked this flow to my app, so create and approve annual leave. So now I'm going to show you how the flow works. So first of all, of course, it starts with a Power Apps trigger. So this Power Apps trigger will be what is required to add a flow like this to your app. So you can click Add Flow here, and then click whichever one that has a trigger for Power Apps. So after that, first of all, I will create a new leaves row, which is here. I'll create a new leaves item inside my annual leaves list, so that I can keep a record and keep track of all the employees that have taken leaves. So okay, so for all this, how we get the information required to add to the row, the item, is we request it from Power Automate. So if I click here, let's click see more, you can see here ask in Power Apps. So what ask in Power Apps does is that it adds the uh, parameters in the .run function for the Power Automate function. So as you can see here, create and approve annual leave .run, and then there's some parameters here. So input name, input start date, input end date, and input day. So you can see the function parameters here. This is create item title, create item start date, create item end date, and create item number of days. So this would correspond to the colors here, which I have keyed in, and then these parameters are actually these fields all here. So you can see here, create item title, create item start date, create item end date, and create item number of days. And then for status, I will manually key in pending first, because there is no approval yet. So next, we're gonna use start and wait for approval. So there is also another action called start and approval, but for that, the approval flow would end there, and then if you want to get a response when the approval is done, you have to create another flow for this. So just for ease of use, we will use this called start and wait for approval. So this flow will start, and then it will not continue until an approval has been done, and within 30 days, because a flow will only run for 30 days maximum. So first of all, we use the approval type, approve and or reject first to respond. So only one person will need to respond. Annual leave application from title. So this is just telling us who the application is from. So title, it would be my the name of whoever submitted the application. And then assign to, this is this account. So I will assign the approval to this account, so we can see later. And then from start date to end date, and this would create an approval, which you can see here later in approvals. So once the approval is done, like somebody approved it or rejected it, first of all, I will update the list again. So as you can see here, this is a old test they have done. So you can see the status became approved, because it went through this part of the flow, which is to update the item. So you can see the site address and list name, and then ID and title is required just to match which item we are changing, and then all this can be left blank, and then I will just assign my status to the outcome of which whatever is the outcome of this approval action, which is to approve or reject. So in this case, the leave has been approved, so the status will have changed to approve. And then next, uh, now we want to check if the leave has been approved or rejected, and then from there we would calculate the number of leaves that they have used and then update the Excel sheet. So in this we use a condition, and then for this I check the outcome. So the outcome of my approval is equal to approve. I will go to the yes, and then in the yes, now we will go into the Excel sheet. So first of all, I will need to find the employee name, the employee role, which has submitted the leave. So this would correspond to whichever row I have in this Excel sheet here. So uh, I'm logged into James, so this would be James right now. And then if you can see here, the total number of leaves used, 0, which means he has 9 leaves. He should have 9 leaves remaining. Yes. So once we started this flow, for example, if I submit 2 leaves, this entire action should minus 2 leaves from his remaining leaves. So how do we do this? I use this compose function. So if I click here into compose, you can see there's an add function here. So I am adding the used leaves with the number of days. So the number of days would be from the original one create item here, and then the used leaves would be read from here, so 0. So once I add these two together, this will give me my new number of used leaves, and then I can use that to calculate my remaining leaves. After that, once I have the number, I will just update the row, which is very similar to how we updated the SharePoint list just now. So we find the location of the file up here, and then we match the key column and the key value to make sure that we have the correct row. And then after that, we will just update whichever field that we need. And in this case, it would be my use leaves. So I have output use leaves, which is from here, output into my use leaves. And then finally we would add a event into the team calendar to let everybody check that this employee is on leave, annual leave or medical leave. And to do that, we will use a create event in Outlook function. So this create event would create an event in the calendar that we have specified. So in this calendar ID, I specified leaves. So you can see here, I have created a leaves calendar here, or you can add a new calendar and then to separate all your events. So I have a separate leaves calendar just to show all the leaves. And then so I put the subject as name on annual leave just to show that the person is on annual leave. And then for the start time, it would be the start date of uh, whatever was inserted. And then the end time, I would add you can click here. So I use a function called add minutes, and then I would add the end date, so whichever end date they have selected, and then I would plus 1439 minutes, and that would equate to uh, 24 hours minus 1 minute. So the event wouldn't last till the next day, so the person will be on leave until the end date, 2359 hours. And then just select the appropriate time zone, and that is all. So you can click save. Okay, and then just to demonstrate, I would run the Leaves app one time. So you can log into James, log in. To James, and then you click apply, and then take 2 days. So number of days 2, and then submit. Leave application submitted. So now we should see an approval appear in here. So if I click approval, just wait for refresh. So here we go, annual leave application from James. details from 2nd February to 3rd February. So now I want to approve, click tick, and then confirm. They should run the next following steps, which is to add to the list, add to the Excel sheet, and add to the calendar. So you just wait for a while. Actually, we can just view the flow to make sure it's running. So you can click in here, create and approve annual leave. So you can see here your flow ran successfully, and then there, so a new event has came up. So James on annual leave, and then you can see here used list has also changed to 2, and remaining list changed to 7. And then we should have a new view in new row in annual list as well. So James start date and date, number of days approved. That is all.